guy on?
Us on.
Okay,
We're both on.
thank you.
I'm sneaky like that. I just quick walk by, hit that.
Mr. Understated.
Yep.
He's doing his job. Don't worry.
I'm supposed to control everything, aren't I?
Go ahead.
All right.
Good morning, Mid-Michigan, Western Michigan, and welcome to another broadcast of Continuous Miracle Radio right here on WGLM 106.3. And my understanding, we are live on Facebook this morning. Just type in Continuous Miracle Radio on your toolbar. The show will pop right up for you on there too. So glad you're listening and with us again here this morning. Got co-host Mike in.
Hey, good morning, folks. I got a story for you in a minute.
You got a story?
Yeah, we had a parade yesterday. It was a lot of fun.
That's right. I've got the Danish days in the rearview mirror now. And apparently everyone had a good time, from what I've been told, right?
Yes, sir.
We had a successful event for the whole community of Greenville. And thanks everyone for coming out and participating in our local event there. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Danish days.
Yeah, I was on the parade float that Krista, educator from the health department, had helped arrange it for us. And I got to wave to the crowd. Other people threw candy.
Wait a minute. You were on a float?
Oh, yeah. I was in all my radiant beauty. My radio face was out there for everyone to see. And,
if I don't see some video, it didn't happen. I'm sorry I missed that.
one of our loyal listeners, Tim T, an auctioneer, local auctioneer, said he listens to us. His cousin was driving a getaway car for the float yesterday.
We had a getaway car. We had all the elements, didn't we?
All of it there, and it worked out. We stayed sober through the whole thing, had a great time, said hello to a lot of people. It was great.
Well, thank you, sir, for taking Continuous Miracle Radio on the road.
Right.
Literally.
I thank Dave for how he drove us down the road. I didn't have one trouble with it.
Nice. Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have the steering wheel.
Oh, I didn't have to control that either?
No, you were doing good in your chair.
Thanks, Krista.
Thank you, Krista and MM. Yeah, so much. And Sudak. A lot of people involved in putting the Danish Day Festival together out here. And, man, so many helpful community members and businesses, organizations that come forward and help us all have a good time celebrating the Dancing Danes.
It's the heritage part, remember, not the dancing part.
Well, that's the 1800s part you know about.
Oh, yeah, I remember that well.
Right, reminds me of it.
Yeah. Fortunately, we got somebody in here today to bring us up to date.
Thank goodness.
Give us
brought
this
somebody
century.
in. Yeah. Yeah, we do have a special guest in here with us this morning. And Dr. Mark Young is with us here from CMREN.
Yeah.
And also, what university?
Ferris State University,
Ferris
College
State.
of Pharmacy.
The old Bulldogs.
Go Dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, we're getting close, aren't we?
Oh, it won't be long. Yeah.
Boy, I'm not the only one salivating over football season. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we close to another championship up there?
Well, we're always close to another championship. Yeah. We need to hang one more banner to make a nice 5 banners. So.
They always do put a good team on the field up there.
Oh yeah. We
kudos to the coaching
I think they're on a
staff.
30-some game winning streak right now.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good start towards a good season.
Oh, buddy. Yeah. They're looking really, really good. Really good. Yeah.
Well, congratulations and good luck this year to the Bulldogs. Right?
Yeah, we have a new stadium hall too, so they built a residence hall right next to the stadium.
Okay.
And there's like a lottery system to get those rooms, but you could literally watch the game from your dorm room.
That's crazy.
Oh, it's awesome. It's really cool. It's really cool.
I like the sign up there that says "We build winners."
Yeah, we build champions. That's
Champions,
right.
there you go.
Yep.
I guess I got. Thanks for enlightening me.
Yep,
It's a great
that's
sign.
what we do. We build champions.
Right.
And it spills over to the recovery community. We're really grateful for that aspect of it.
Yeah, it really does. I think.
Yeah, a lot of work has come out of that community up there, Ferris State, and CMREN, and
Yeah.
CMREN or CMREN?
So you can say
Get me
however
right.
you can
Square
say
me
it
up.
however you want.
All
I
right.
say CMREN,
Okay.
but that's CMREN, and it stands for Central Michigan Recovery and Education Network. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going on our 10th year actually.
Yeah.
So 10 years of CMREN. Believe it or not, I probably shouldn't share this, but I'm going to anyway because I never do what I'm told.
Go ahead.
But
Good
actually-
man.
Wait a minute, this is continuous miracle. You do as you damn well please.
There, I like that. I like these rules. But actually, we're starting to work on a documentary. So we have some students that are part of the television production maybe program,
Sure.
and they've already started interviewing some people, and they're gonna do a documentary about the 10 years of the work of CMREN.
Excellent.
Yeah. So when that comes out, I'll have to come back and share it. you
Yeah,
know.
please do, and let us know where we can get a copy or where it's going to be broadcast. We'll make sure and get that out on the airwaves.
Yeah. So one thing, the kind of the history of CMREN is that it started at Ferris State University with this idea that there was a need for recovery services, but what CMREN is not actually the person providing the service. We are a networking group. So we receive some federal funds, and we service 5 counties. So Mecosta, Osceola, Montcalm, Newaygo, and Lake.
Okay.
So we take that area.
It's a pretty good size umbrella there.
Big area.
Yeah.
It's a big area. It covers a lot of ground. And what we do is we provide or try to provide a recovery ecosystem. So we try to coordinate resources amongst all the things that are happening in all of these 5 counties.
And there's a lot happening.
There's so much happening.
When I speak of the recovery community, quite often on the show here, that's what I'm speaking about. It's not just here in Greenville. I mean,
No.
that's where we are. But the surrounding counties, where everyone's lives and the resources being put forward and the communications being had is all for the improvement of the entire recovery community.
Right,
I mean,
right.
That's phenomenal. That doesn't happen everywhere.
No.
It does not happen everywhere.
No,
but it is happening here.
Yeah, it's truly amazing work. I've only been in it now for this is my 3rd year, so I kind of came into it later. But it's unbelievable, and we really have to view recovery as this ecosystem. So when I say ecosystem, everyone kind of thinks like Earth, right? Like the Earth is an ecosystem, and that truly
Right.
is. That
It
truly
is,
is. And
yeah.
the sun shines down, and that evaporates the water, and then the water comes down as rain, and the minerals and all of that. And that's a great
You
analogy.
sound like a teacher.
Yeah.
Right. Sounds like a doctor or a scientist.
You're right. But actually, I am that. I'm both those things.
I know.
However, my passion is like working on motors and cars, so I'm kind of a gearhead. So I always think of it like an engine, actually. So you got your engine, and if one little part in the engine, like some little sensor goes bad, it just the little orange light pops up, and the system keeps going. So
Right.
but
That
then-
mean that engine light isn't supposed to be on all
Right,
the time?
right. And people like me take a little piece of tape and put over it so you don't have to see it.
Smart
But then-
guys.
Yeah, but then sometimes things like a piston or whatever melts down,
Right.
and then it's done.
It's a bad day.
So what happens is, what we found in this 5-county area is there's all these parts. There's pistons and there's sensors and there's mufflers and there's whatever, and all of those parts were kind of not cognizant. They didn't understand what every other part was doing necessarily. So we try to look at the whole motor, and then we try to make sure that the pistons keep running, because that's a big important part. But then we also need to say, okay, well, this sensor isn't working either, so we need to kind of maybe bolster that up, do more work over here to make sure long term that our ecosystem is
Functioning.
exactly. So that's where we fit in.
AA might be a camshaft or a crankshaft,
Yeah.
but we're anonymous, so we don't want to know anybody or know us. That makes it difficult,
Right.
don't it?
And there's a lot of parts in a motor that are kind of anonymous. Like I look at something, I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Probably important, but I don't know.
Whoever talked to an oil pan.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's
I've
pretty
talked
important.
to them when they had a hole in them and the oil is gone.
That time.
Yeah.
So, as part of this recovery ecosystem, we use a model called the Fletcher model, and it has 16 elements, and those are like our 16 parts of the motor. And
Okay.
all of those parts, and I'm not going to list every part and talk about them, but they're things like transportation. As people get
Critical, especially in the counties
rural,
that you,
yes,
rural counties.
and
you
and a lot of
service.
people enter the recovery ecosystem without a driver's license. I mean, a lot of times that's what
Oh.
is landing them. Yeah.
Mine was restricted.
Yeah, so I mean, transportation's huge, right? You can't get to a
Right.
meeting if literally you can't get to a meeting. So transportation is huge. Also, housing, that's one element, right? Employment is another element. All of these kind of crisis management's another, just 16 different elements, right? And so,
And there's a lot of crisis and trauma involved in when you're trying to
right, and that's what we're
get this thing functioning.
exactly, and that's what we're kind of focused on right now. So for the last couple years, we've been more focused on housing and transportation. And I'm not saying we fixed that, not by any means, but we made huge strides. And I'll share some of that later about some
Sure.
of the things.
Better.
And when I say we, I'm not saying CMREN, because literally it's not a joke. We don't do anything. CMREN, we just make sure that the ecosystem is healthy, right? We're not boots on the ground. So when I say we, I mean everyone that's involved in the recovery ecosystem. is
Right,
doing
but
these
you
things.
identified the areas that need some
Right.
tinkering, right?
Right.
Some correction.
Exactly. So we have been working on housing and transportation. We made great strides there. But what then we started to realize is there's just not enough crisis management. That's what we're really lacking in that 5-county area. It's not to say we have none. We have some. But we need more.
Sure. Because when there's a crisis, there's a crisis.
Yeah.
And to have qualified people respond to that crisis is probably one of your key components, I would imagine.
It definitely is. And, crisis looks different to every single person that's experiencing crisis.
Sure.
But it doesn't happen 9 to 5. It doesn't happen, when on anyone else's time. And a lot of the 1-800 numbers and those kinds of things, they're amazing resources. But they don't understand what we have locally, So that kind of handoff to further crisis management can be maybe not as good as it
Fumble.
should be. Yes, you don't want to fumble. Yeah.
Balls on
So-
the ground.
I'm over here, boots on the ground, as you speak,
Yeah.
because I attend a lot of meetings. I work with a lot of people, and do quite a few book studies, which is educational piece to the whole thing. And I first became aware of CMREN when I was on the board at TMAC, and we were in danger of closing the doors. And it was a place at the time that some 30 meetings a week were going on. And after we got a little assistance from CMREN, we were up to 45 meetings a week. So not only did they help provide a lifeline, but they put a boost into the ability of the boots on the ground to do their work.
Yeah, that's and that's awesome. And a lot of times, if we use that earth kind of analogy, a lot of times the boots on the ground, they have the fertilizer, they have it.
I got fertilizer
Shovels.
spread.
They got shovels.
You got a lot of fertilizer. They have the plant in the ground. They have everything built, but they just need a little water. You know what I mean? So if we can provide that, that's something that we can do to kind of lift that. But again, it's different for every single network partner, and we're up to, oh geez, I probably should have wrote this down. 70 some network partners, so 70 people that are part of 70 organizations that are part of CMREN doing this work.
That's huge.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Well, and that's why I mentioned it's not happening everywhere, but it is happening here.
Yeah.
And this is new and evolving.
Yes.
So there's all this phenomenal growth going on for the benefit of the recovery community, and people, in turn, people are receiving some of the services that before wasn't available.
Yeah, our director, Dr. Gail Bullard, was asked to speak at the HRSA, recent HRSA conference. So HRSA is the federal government arm that kind of manages all of these funds that we receive some from that. But only, I think, 3 of all in the entire nation were selected to talk about the work, and she was selected. So it's
Excellent.
unbelievable, that we can do this work right here. So.
And provide opportunity for people to become well.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's the underlying driver of all this, opportunities for people to become more whole and productive members of society.
Yes.
And Darren's telling me we're going to look at a break here pretty quick, so Come on back and join us with our conversation with Dr. Mark Young from CMREN and Ferris State University right after these brief messages from our sponsors. And thank you so much for being part of our program and listening again this morning.
Somewhere in here, I feel up to speaking about what I gained from the community conversation days and the interaction with the, not presenters as much as the people that had a table at the other place.
Scott back here with you on Continuous Miracle Radio right here on WGLM 106.3. Thank you again for being part of our program this morning as we're having a conversation with Dr. Mark Young from Ferris State University and CMREN.
Yes.
And a facilitator of all the things that are happening that are new and really aren't going on in other areas, but they're happening here in our community. We're so blessed to have the opportunity to exercise some of these things because they're just not available in a lot of other places right now.
Yeah, and we feel so blessed to be able to help out. And recently we were applying for some more funding because more funds, more water for the ecosystem.
Oh, right? Yeah, you got to water it.
You got to water it. So when we were applying for these funds, you kind of have to look back because people who are giving you money want to know what you've done, right?
Yeah.
They want to know.
Hey, where'd that go?
Yeah, exactly. So we've been looking back in time at a lot of things we've accomplished, and when I say we, I mean the entire 5-county region, all of the partners.
70 organizations.
Yeah, 70 plus. Yeah,
you've
organizations.
drawn together.
Yeah, so I have some examples. It's going to sound a little braggy, but honestly, it's because I'm bragging. I feel so.
Well, Mike knows about bragging.
Well, yeah, but there was this Kid Rock kind of guy. He said that it ain't bragging if you can do it.
If you back it up, yeah.
Yeah. So would you back it up, boss?
I'll back it up.
So it ain't bragging, we're backing it up.
Yeah, and this is over a 10-year time frame, most of this. And when we started the CMREN network, we had no recovery housing access points. There was no recovery-friendly housing access points, if you can believe it or not. Now we have 14 just in Mecosta County. So
there was no one to call.
Really?
If you needed help with housing.
Right. As far as stable recovery housing. So, housing is different than stable recovery housing. Like if you're leaving incarceration, okay, and you go into an environment where everyone's using, that's not a good situation.
Not a good recipe.
Right. So we need certified, this housing area, this housing unit is recovery friendly. Okay, we're not going to use substances. We're going to offer you that kind of support. And that's one of those housing pieces that we talked about. And the team, the network has lifted that from 0 to 14. Another one is medication-assisted therapy. So that's been around for a long time. It is controversial, of course.
It's a harm reduction piece.
Exactly, yeah. So it's kind of like a weaning down. If you think about opioids, even an alcohol situation, it's more of we're going to use another agent, a medication, to kind of wean you down from your addiction.
Right.
It's not for everybody. I'm not saying it's a cure-all by any means, but it is part of the equation for a lot of folks. We went from 15 at baseline to 26 now, so I mean that's almost doubling that.
So we have
access.
26 facilities, and you're talking the 5-county area.
5-county area, yep.
That are available to help people with harm reduction.
Right.
In the what's your term?
Medication-assisted therapy.
Medication-assisted therapy.
Yeah, and in some locations, some counties had 0 when we started, and now we have at least 1 or 2 there. There's just so many of these other kinds of things, like sober-free events. So that was another problem, is almost all of our events in this area, and in most areas, are tied with substance use, alcohol, whatever it may be.
Now, wait a minute. We just had the Danish days.
Yeah, and there was a lot of alcohol-fueled
Oh,
activity.
okay, well, I wasn't there.
Well,
but
the police
right?
report says that out on the street, Lafayette.
Okay, I get the idea.
Yeah.
So we went from 7 at baseline to 24 now, annual events that are listed as
That are
sober.
hosted for people in recovery, right?
Exactly. Well, they're
Sober
hosted for
events.
everyone.
Yeah,
but they're-
anyone can. Right.
But they're
mistake.
sober events. Yeah, exactly. We talk about SUD services, so substance use disorder services, and we looked at how many partners, because some of our partners are large healthcare organizations. Okay.
Okay.
And so we looked at how many partners were getting into the substance use disorder kind of space, and we went from 13 to 27, which is a doubling there as well.
And so now they're actually engaged.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
That's what I mean, because they weren't engaged before,
And now they are.
prior to.
Right.
But after 10 years since the development of CMREN,
Yep.
these other organizations are now engaged in the Recovery Community Network.
Yeah. And then the last one I'll share, even though there's more, but the last one I'll share is our network partners that have recovery coaches. So recovery coaches are those people that are really trained in helping people in recovery. Just like a football coach, right?
Right.
You need somebody to tell you what to do. I mean, if you just threw a football team out there with no coach, well,
Yeah, we
you're
don't
probably
want
not
the
gonna win.
cricket coach.
Right.
We need
That
a
was
football
Lions
coach.
with Wayne Fonts.
Yeah. So at Ferris, that's Tony Anise. He's our coach.
Yeah,
He wins.
right,
We build
right.
champions. So, but
I like
World
that.
champs.
just trying to weave that in there. You know.
World champs, straight out of Ferris.
Yeah, 4-time national champions, but I'm not bragging.
No.
So,
Well,
please
it's
do.
facts,
Go
mister.
ahead.
that's facts. That's facts.
We're looking for 5.
Ain't bragging if you can do it.
That's right. So, just looking at Macasta and Montcalm together, we only had 2 recovery coaches when we started the period. Now we have 10 serving 3 counties. So, we went from 2 to 10, which is huge. So, the capacity for those people to help others in
And recovery coaches can take those critical situation calls, right?
Exactly.
And they're trained
Exactly.
to be able to speak to people's needs at that time.
Yeah, and it's not even just that. That's the crisis management piece, but it can help them get to a meeting, and it can kind of keep them checking in. So it's not just like we're going to put a Band-Aid on you.
No.
It's really we're going to heal you through the whole process, and that's their quarterback, right? Their coach to help them.
I got something to throw
Right.
in there about that.
Yeah.
I was just reflecting on it the other day. Last year, I was counseling at the Nuevo County Jail, substance use disorder counselor, and I was reflecting on the, say, a half a dozen or so people that I worked with that I know are doing real well, and a big part of them doing real well had to do with me being able to connect them with resources, many of those same resources you're talking about.
Yeah.
And if it hadn't been for that, there's several of those people I'm almost certain wouldn't be in the spot they are today, but they were able to have services, so to speak, at a critical juncture in their sobriety or recovery journey.
Yeah.
And that's huge for almost everyone.
Everybody. Yeah. One of the things that CMREN really does, boots on the ground, is we do host this thing called Community Conversation Day every
Yeah.
year. It's up
Yeah.
on the campus. You guys are there.
Yeah, been there.
Oh, I've been there, a
Oh,
couple
yeah.
of them, and I got a lot out of it.
Yeah. So,
Let me go on in a moment or 10. I'll tell you
yeah, so
about
I'll give you a perfect tee up. I'll put it
it.
ready for
Okay,
you.
thanks.
So these community conversation days are events, and if you want to sign up, they're literally open to anyone in the recovery space. Whether you're in recovery, whether you work in recovery, whether you're just interested in how to help in recovery, we'll take everybody. You can find it, sign up on the website. So if you Google CMREN, which is CMREN, that should be enough. If you put maybe like recovery in there, that will definitely get enough. To get to our website, you can sign up. It's free. There's no cost.
Do we
It's
have an
on-
upcoming event?
I should have the date. It's in October. We do have
I know you do twice a year,
twice
right?
a year. Yeah, twice
okay.
a year. But we have one coming up in October. I should have had the date
That's
to
okay.
share. But if you get on the website, sign up. Free lunch, free breakfast. It's right on campus. It's a great
Yeah,
event.
it's an all-day event. The 2 that I've been up there too,
Yeah, it's a great event.
and a great place to network with
Yes.
70 other
Yeah.
organizations within the recovery community are
Yep.
there, showing you their own services that they're bringing to the table.
Yeah, and it's great because we allow our partners to have tables so they can share out kind of in to one-on-one what they're doing, and then we pick some partners every year to share out kind of as a group, and then we ask questions of the group to try to make everyone better, I guess. awareness, to give them things to think about. So
Yeah, a little bit.
October 16th, I should know that because that's my dad's birthday. I should have remembered that. But October 16th, 2026, for our regional conversation day.
Yeah, Ferris
One more
State.
example of Darren keeping us on track.
Yes, thank you for that.
Call 'em
But so
dangerous.
you were there last year,
Yes,
or
and
last time, I should say.
yeah, and I loved the panel presentation. I've loved all of them that I've seen. But what I really was able to do was interact with the presenters at the table, and on part of my thrust had to do with getting people on the show to let us know about their part in it. But another part was like what I was saying, the services available in different communities that I became aware of so that I could put into practice as a recovery coach.
Mm-hmm.
That was really huge. Things I didn't even know existed.
Mm-hmm.
Another part of it has to do with, while they're not specifically geared towards a recovery, the housing part is a huge part, just like what you said. And probably in that Mecosta County, people that weren't aware that maybe something that they already had there wasn't designated as such. So for whatever reason, to go from 0 to 14 in a short amount of time makes me think that there was a lot of that in place already, but not publicized.
Sure, that could have been, yeah. And again, that's just part of that piece of networking, finding out what we're doing so that everyone else knows. That made me think about community conversation days. Is I kind of have two jobs. So I work with CMREN, but then my role in CMREN is I'm the pharmacy liaison. So I work with students that lift projects. Mm-hmm. And at community conversation day, the students previous to that, I came up with a survey about medication-assisted therapy, and they were asking people to take their survey at the conversation day, which was kind of fun. And they just applied to present that data at a conference down in Orlando, Florida in December. And it's the largest gathering of pharmacists in North America. So it's the American Society of Health System Pharmacists. So on a national stage, hopefully, fingers crossed, their proposal will be accepted, and they can present that
Your
information.
students can present all the information you've gleaned from 10 years of working origination of CMREN.
Yeah. So it's cool. And then we do a lot of other little things. I shouldn't say
Could you
little.
correct me if I'm wrong about that survey?
Yeah.
A big part of what I remember it had to do with was how you used medically assisted treatment type things.
Exactly.
Okay, what you had there was, I don't know, we have 150 participants.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of those were boots on the ground people about that. If you want to ask about that, ask those people.
Oh, yeah.
And you get real relevance.
And we did. And
how they're actually utilizing it right now in real time.
Right, and we asked a lot about not even how, yes, we asked about how they're using it, but we also asked about their opinions, because there are strong opinions about that, and whether they think it's effective, whether they think it's not effective, why it's not effective. And that's probably the most important data, because everyone wants the best outcome for that individual.
Right.
But we don't always know, we don't always ask the individual. That's what we're terrible at in healthcare, is asking the actual patient. So we're trying to gather those opinions related to that, so we can make better treatment decisions as a health profession.
Based on what the goal is for it. What predetermined.
Yeah, and these students I'm working with are amazing, and they've done so much around campus and off campus. One of the other projects that we started was they started handing out Narcan. So harm reduction, bring somebody out of an overdose of opioids.
And that's been more readily available. I know it is in the 5 counties that you get.
We were giving it away at the parade yesterday with an
yeah.
information sheet that pointed out that it ain't just junkies that need this stuff. It's somebody that might have an accidental overdose or somebody that got to different ways of an accidental overdose is what it was pointing out. And it didn't. Most of the people with an accidental overdose weren't junkies in this example.
Exactly. Yeah, it could happen to anybody. And the other thing is, you don't know. If you're literally just walking down the street and you see someone that may need this, it'd be nice to have.
Right.
I like to tell people, not very often can we be superheroes, but in that instance, you really could be a superhero.
We've heard that twice today.
Oh, you know what that means.
We're going to hear it again.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
Yeah, so the students, they distributed 414 doses just in the last academic year. They also gave out this thing called Deterra. It's a drug disposal system, so you can put, like, if you made the decision, like, I'm done with this, you can put your substance in this pouch, and then chemically it makes it inert, so you can't get it back out.
Oh,
so
that's interesting.
yeah, and it's an eco-friendly way to dispose of it. So they did
Different than
300.
flushing down the toilet, like.
Well, so flushing it down the toilet is great for not being able to get it back, right? You flush
Yeah.
it down the toilet, it's gone. But then the medication gets in the actual
Environment.
ecosystem, right, in the environment. So this is a way that it chemically makes it inert, so you don't have it getting into the environment. So
Then it can be disposed of.
yeah, safely. So
Okay.
they did that too. I mean, they're doing all sorts of really cool events. They're actually all certified Narcan trainers, so they can go out and train people how to use Narcan.
Is that going to be more available? Is there like in a high school?
Well,
You
yes.
can put on a class or
They're
your
trying to get
students
into
at-
educational things like high schools, junior
Right.
highs, talking about it. There is a stigma. There's people that think that they shouldn't be there. So breaking down some of those barriers.
The only
giving
way to
information.
reduce the stigma is to talk about
Talk
it
about it.
out loud.
Exactly.
You know, this is what's happening. This is why we're trying this.
Yeah, they've made good inroads with getting into employers too. So getting employers to have Narcan in the service industry. They did some training at restaurants. They taught all the restaurant staff how to use it and that they have it in the restaurant. They had a great idea about getting into hotels. So if you think about it, like someone who's cleaning a hotel room, okay, they're pushing the cart around.
Sure.
They have no idea what they're walking into. They unlock that door. They knock first, right?
Yep.
And then they unlock that door. They have
Ideally.
yeah, right. Hopefully. Mike hopes they don't knock, but
Right, he does. Well, somebody's got to do that too.
yeah. So they come in that room. They have no idea what they're walking into, right? And if they walk into someone in overdose, we want them to have a Narcan on their cart so that they can help and assist. So I thought that was really cool thinking. I'm old, right? And
Not as old as me, but you're getting there, boss.
yeah, and I don't think of things like that. When they brought that up, I said, "Wow, that's actually a really good idea."
Well,
we
yeah,
should do that.
and the younger folks are the boots on the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So
They're out there a little more than, well, say Mike Trump.
right.
Looking for mushrooms, whatever he's doing out there.
Right. And they got the energy too. Not only
Yeah.
are they smart, they actually have the energy. I get tired at the end of the
Couple
day.
things I ain't got going for me. I like that.
Well, you had him one.
What? Yeah, back in the 1800s, all that stuff was going on. I even had a lot of hair then. It was an amazing time.
You didn't have any of this though,
No, sir.
No.
and none of the services that are available today.
No, I didn't have the support.
Support networks, right?
Yeah, they're actually even working with some of our support networks on campus as well. And that was a group that I hadn't even thought about with those needing recovery college-age students.
Oh yeah.
If you think about it, it makes total sense, right? You have a huge number of students coming into an environment that is making them stressed out. Most of them never really been away from home.
Got a little freedom.
Oh, a lot of freedom. They got a lot of freedom.
Time for a little experimentation.
Yeah, and the availability of that stuff nowadays is more than it ever has been.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately.
so supporting them, they've really started to make some inroads there, and breaking down the stigma, because there's a lot of stigma on campus about of substances in recovery.
Yeah. And that's some of the things that need to be talked about out loud. Have community conversations and to stand up and address the situations and issues as they are
Yeah.
in real time.
Exactly.
Because that's where growth happens. So Darren's telling me we're going to take a little break here. Come on back and we'll continue our conversations with Dr. Mark Young from Ferris State University in Cameron. And I know Mike is curious about a thing or two, so don't
lot.
be surprised when you hear him. Thank you so much for being part of our program.
So when I actually ask a relevant question, it's almost impactful at that point.
Yeah, so this one I'll just talk about
It will help take care of me when I get old.
I like that. She's smart. I can tell.
Tell you about his heart attack.
It's all coming together now.
Scott back here with you.
I'm glad you're here, boss.
I'm glad I'm here too. I wouldn't have been part of this conversation if I would have been anywhere else.
Oh, you poor devil.
I know. Somebody's got to do it though.
Okay.
Mike needed to be heard.
And you told me I couldn't tell the audience, so
No,
here we
you
are.
can't.
Okay.
No, we still, and amazingly, we still have the good doctor here with us.
Thank you, sir.
I wouldn't be anywhere else. I wouldn't be anywhere else.
And we were having a little conversation prior to coming back on.
A lot of conversation, and much of it was about summer and the other stuff too.
Was Mike. So, the doctor was talking a little bit about all CMREN has done in its first 10 years, which is phenomenal, and put them in a position to do some further work, which he's pretty excited about. You ever see a doctor get excited? My first for me.
Yeah.
No, they've yelled at me before.
Well,
Hold on.
I've seen
I
a
was gonna
doctor.
say, what do you mean by excited? Yeah.
Enthusiastic.
There you go. Yeah. Happy and excited, or
Yeah.
just excited?
I've seen doctors excited when I was dying on them.
Yeah.
So there's that part, and nobody's dying right here, near as I
No.
can tell.
No, I hope not. I hope not.
Well, what I like to see is the doctor's all his hard work, because we're familiar with that's gone into this previous 10 years, and what's coming forward because of that work. Okay.
Yeah. So
Not just because, but because of the work they put together for our 5-county recovery community here.
Yeah.
And what's coming, well, what they're approaching now, and I'll let the good doctor tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so our funding on our current grant, which was a 4-year grant, ends in June of 2027. So around a year, less than a year. We're in our last year now. So what that means is that CMREN will look much different if we don't find more money. Okay, so we're
Like most things.
like most things, right?
Yeah.
It takes time and it takes money to make those things happen. So we have a plan if we don't have funding. As scary as that is, we do have a plan to kind of keep it going. But with more funding, man, we could do a lot more. So myself, Adam London, Dr. London, I think he was on the show not that long ago.
He will be on fairly soon.
Yeah.
And he'll be-
he's-
okay.
Yep, he is on our guest list to come
Perfect. So him, I, Dr. Bullard, we all worked together this summer, and we wrote 3 different grants to try to extend some of the funding. So grant number 1 was exciting because what it does is it establishes this Rural Health Institute at Ferris State. So
Okay.
yeah. So and what that means.
Well, you're the originators of it, then why wouldn't it be
Yeah.
there? Yeah.
And rural health is really a buzzword right now. There's special federal funds that are available just for rural health initiatives. And what we realized is we're doing rural health. I mean, we're calling it recovery. We're calling it, and it is recovery, but we are serving a rural area. The entirety of our 5-county region is considered a rural health area. So we said, why don't we let everyone know that we are a leader in rural health at Ferris State University? So if we
And you can show it with your 10 years of work.
exactly. So we've been doing this, we've been building this up, and we've done great work. Why not show it off? So our idea is if we can establish this Rural Health Institute, I should say when we establish this Rural Health Institute, we want Ferris State to be recognized as a leader in rural health, right? Mm-hmm. So when you think Ferris State,
Rightfully so.
right, when you think Ferris State right now, you think amazing football, great professors like me.
Not to brag.
Not to brag, right?
It ain't bragging if you can do
If
it.
you can
That's
back
right.
it up, it ain't bragging if you
That's
can back it
right.
up. But we want them to think rural health. Like, if I want to be a rural health care provider, a nurse, a pharmacist, a respiratory technician, an x-ray technician, whatever it is, and I want to work in a rural environment, I want to go to Ferris State. That's where I want to go.
Get your education in
Yeah.
a rural community.
Yeah, and so
A relevant education.
exactly. So we're building that on these pillars, and one of those pillars is helping the local community. So we want our students to help those people that need that help in our local community. So we want to raise up that 5-county area through our services. We also want to do research as one of our pillars, where we not only just help, but we look at systems, look at ecosystems, and then share that information out. So
Help with intention. And you can only do that if you have factual information.
exactly.
And that takes
Right, that takes research, and that takes people, doing the statistical analysis.
and the funding.
Yeah,
Sounds like something the
Provide
college
that
is geared to.
research.
exactly. Yeah, so we're good at that. So we're very intentionally building this through the university that will keep the CMREN network going. So it's CMREN would only be maybe a part of that, a huge part of that, but there's also other initiatives too, blood pressure screenings and anti-smoking and all the other things that we do for healthcare.
Sure.
But that would keep CMREN going.
Those are part of the problems that addicts have and face.
Oh, and it's not unique to addicts. All of the
Oh, no, the general public. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not just speaking about recovery.
Yeah.
When he's talking about this initiative, it's about the entire community, everybody.
Exactly. I mean, we're talking diabetes, we're talking
Right.
high blood pressure, everything.
Those ailments that come with living.
Exactly, yeah. And then we're looking at, partnering with some of the in-school clinics and those kinds of things where we can do some education and try to prevent people from needing recovery, right? So it's not necessarily a reactive kind of situation, it's more proactive where we can put more money into preventing people from getting into substance use disorder. So that was our first grant, and we're very hopeful, fingers crossed, that we get that. And then the next two grants were very similar, and they're large grants, very, very lucrative grants, and
They could sustain you for a while.
they
then.
could. They're both 4-year grants,
Which means the education and
Or
the
expand.
research can continue.
right? And in the last 10 years, what we've focused on is building this recovery ecosystem. And I think I can say that the ecosystem is built. That doesn't mean that it's running just exactly right. That doesn't mean that every single element is just perfect, but we do. We have our arms around the ecosystem. We kind of understand what's going on. And what we've noticed, and Mike brought it up earlier, is what we've noticed is people are doing the work, but then they generally run out of funds.
We're familiar with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all familiar with that, right? In our personal lives, right?
Everyone's been familiar with
Just
it at
think
some
of the-
point in their lives.
Just think of the things we could do if we had
If
more
not, you don't know what you're missing.
And so a lot of the grants that you write, all the grants that you write, you have to come up with a budget, and you have to say, this is the things we're going to do. Okay, we're going to do number 1, we're going to do number 2, we're going to do number 3, and this is how we're going to use the money. And we kind of took a little bit of a different approach when we wrote these grants. Because the recovery ecosystem changes so quickly, there's new things, new problems that are encountered all the time.
Well, there's new solutions I'm finding too.
yes.
I mean, if you pay attention to some of the materials you read, I read trying to stay up on some of the newer developments as well. And there's some amazing strides being made right now.
Oh yeah, there's new things. I mean, if you look back in time 4 years, I mean, things were much different then. So instead of saying we're going to do X, Y, and Z, 1, 2, and 3 over these next 4 years, what we kind of flipped it, and we said what we're going to do is we're going to take your money, and then we're going to give that money to the boots on the ground. So we're gonna be able to fund projects that are relevant right then. And that's not something that we've been able to do on a large scale. Now, we've been able to do that a little bit. We can move some things around and we can get some little funding.
Sure.
But this is substantial funding for people doing
Sustainable?
recovery. Yes, sustainable,
Okay.
substantial. And that's one of the pillars of these grants is the sustainability piece.
Yeah.
So we don't,
I understand that.
yeah, we're not buying cups of coffee, we're buying coffee makers, right? So we're not giving you fish, we're teaching you how to fish with that money.
Yeah.
But it really does trickle directly to the partners doing the work. And
That's where the physical work is taking place.
Exactly, it's boots on the ground.
Yeah.
And one of the problems, everyone has heard of grant funding. And I think if just the general public thinks grant funding is easy, like you just tell them what you want to do and then you get this money.
No.
And anyone that's written a grant understands, like, oh, that is not the way it works. There's a lot more to it.
I'm familiar with a couple grant writers, and yeah, they're wow.
Yeah, I mean,
The
just this one.
research and,
Yeah, there's
the work that goes into it.
Yeah, there's one grant. I don't even know how many hundreds of hours I have in on writing it. But the idea is that I put the work in, Dr. London, Dr. Bullard, the team puts the work in to get the funds. But then as those funds go to boots on the ground people in this 5-county area, we'll make that process very simple. So we already have it. You don't need to write off. Our grant application was 80 pages long. And in one grant, we had a 60-page application with 250 pages of other supporting material.
Documenting.
Yeah. Well, we want to make it a very simple process. So you're not worried about the funds. You're worried about the people. You're worried about the recovery.
Focus the energy where it needs to be focused.
Exactly. So I'm hoping, we'll find out in another month or so if we get these grants, but I'm hoping that we can really make a bigger impact, more than just establishing the ecosystem and maintaining the ecosystem, but really directing, funds that will allow solutions in those different areas where we see that they are needed.
And you can track those.
Exactly.
So you have evidence, factual evidence that you can say this is what happened when we did this.
Right, and my students are great at that. So again, the partners, of course, they're going to have some responsibility, right?
I would think so.
Yeah, but we'll have our students in there helping as much as we can too, as part of that Rural Health Institute, where we can have a student. Not only are we going to give you this money, but maybe we'll give you a student to help record the data, help out with what the project that you want to do. So it's you can probably tell I'm really excited about it. The other big piece of this is we're definitely going to continue to service our 5-county area, but we're also expanding to add 2 more counties as part of these grants. So that would be
2?
Gratiot and Ionia. So
Okay.
Just kind of expanding our network, making it even bigger, bringing in some of those resources from those counties. And I don't want you to think that we have this idea that those counties aren't doing a good job.
No, but they need the same type. They need resources just like everyone else was needing resources when you started this. So
Exactly.
why wouldn't you, if it's effective, why wouldn't you draw in
Yes.
other counties?
Yeah, so we're going to help them, and then they're going to help us. They're doing some amazing work there because I've obviously been in those counties talking to them, making sure they're okay with being part of the network. They're doing some amazing work that we can learn from.
Sure.
So, I mean, it truly is an ecosystem. So if we can get that ecosystem even larger, that is only better for everyone. So we're going to try to expand the network and then be able to offer direct funding opportunities, which I'm just so excited about.
Almost sounds ideal, doesn't it, Mike?
It does to me.
Yeah.
As effective as you've been at helping so far, that's going to be amazing if it works like that.
I think so. But it's a little bit of a double-edged sword with so much that we've done, because as you're applying for these grants, they want to make sure you know how to get things done. Right? It's like
but
hiring
you can
employees.
show that.
Right.
You have shown that.
We're really good at that.
Yeah.
And we can show that we use funds. We've done amazing work. The network has done amazing work. The ecosystem has done amazing work. But we also have to establish more work needs to be done. And, we've done this with a little bit of funds, but man, we could do this if we had a lot of funds. So, that's where we're at right now. And is, we don't want to think of 2026, 27, the year 2026, 2027 as the end. We want to think of it as the beginning, as the next step.
The it's not a do-over, it's a continuing miracle.
Man, you're good. Man, you're good.
There's a reason I'm here.
I guess.
He's got a firm grasp on the obvious.
I guess.
Need to be reminded of these things when we come upon them, because that's what it is, and so many people have benefited from the resources that you have created in this ecosystem and brought forward for people to reap the benefits of your hard work. And I'm fully aware of all that. And Mike's a product of it himself. He's a damn recovery coach.
Yeah. But what I also see is, what you see is there's a lot more work to do. And the things that you've started or helped continue can be more effective with a little bit, a few resources here and there. Help them be more effective. That's what I wanted to find out, what you'd learned. And that sounds like that is.
Yeah. And I think one of the pieces maybe I touched on, and I should probably reiterate, is that it's so hard to come up with this long-term plan. And so every year it's not like a one-time grant opportunity for our partners, it's going to be every year, and maybe even every 6 months, or twice a year, because we know these problems change and are different. So it's not like you're locked into, okay, if you don't get the funds right off the bat in the first year, you got to wait 4 more years. It's not it at all.
Right. Well, the supply of substances continues to change.
Yeah.
So your approaches to folks who need help have got to change with that, I would imagine.
Yeah, and me sitting in an office in a university, I'm not, cognizantly aware of those things as they happen. You guys, boots on the ground, are. So we need to listen to you, and then we can, sprinkle that fertilizer and that water on those projects that need to happen.
Right.
And
in real time.
And quickly. That's
Yeah,
the other
quickly.
problem. It's like a fire, right? If you wait, well, you know what? I see that my house is on fire, but I'm going to write a grant to buy a hose and a fire extinguisher.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
that ain't
smoldering.
gonna work. Yeah, that ain't going to work. But
I'm going to call around for the best price on a hose too.
Yeah,
Also,
exactly. Well, yeah, there is that. But if you have the fire extinguisher, or if your neighbor does, and you can get it really quick and get the fire out,
Got a chance.
Yeah, exactly. You have a chance.
Got a chance.
So that's what we want to be. We want to be able that good neighbor with the fire extinguisher at the ready. So as these problems pop up, we can jump in there and help that person. Provide the
there.
fire extinguisher. Yeah.
Right. With experience.
Well, I hope so. Yeah. Maybe we can even show them how to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about
Give them the
that?
extinguisher. Show them how to use it. Yeah.
I had a little grass fire last year, and I'm grateful my neighbor showed up in his robe to help stop it out.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's
If
in
he'd
a
had a
rural
fire-
county. He's in a rural county.
Oh, Nuego's like that.
Cowboy boots and a robe. What can I help you with, neighbor?
I never thought I'd say this, but maybe CMREN is like your neighbor in a robe.
All righty.
I don't know.
Knock before you go into the motel door.
There
Right.
you go. That's another good one.
Hey, folks, thanks so much for being part of the show here. Again, with us yet today on Continuous Miracle Radio. Find us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, all those platforms that are out there. Dr. Mark Young, I want to thank you, sir, for
Thank
being
you.
on the program with us today and all the hard work you've done on behalf of the recovery community and will continue to do. And wow, Mike, who we got coming on next week?
We've got Jody and Stephanie, recovery coaches from Randy's house.
All right, we'll talk to you then. This is Scott signing off on Continuous Miracle Radio 106.3 WGLM. Thank you so much.
Thank
Man,
you,
you
sir.
guys
That
are
was
Cut it
wonderful.
real close.
I did. I pushed it right to the